Good morning, everyone. Yeah, we have now finished our current unit. Now, I was going to be starting off by giving you feedback and going through question 11, but whilst several of you have uploaded work from yesterday's lesson for me, no one has attempted question 11, so I'm not actually going to go through it yet. If anyone does attempt it and want me to go through it, then I will, but there's really no point in me going over something which no one's had a go at. And it's very important with maths, if you want to get better, to attempt a question that you don't even think you necessarily know how to get right to the right answer on. You've got to give it a go, and then when I go through it, you may surprise yourself, and that's how we learn from our mistakes. Anyway, I'm not going to go on about that anymore. Today we are going to do the first half of the unit test for the unit that you've just finished about surface area and volume. So like we did before, it's going to go over 2 lessons. You can find the test uploaded, and then I will go through each question and you can mark your own work as you go through and fill in anything where you haven't done. And I'd like you to upload at the end of the second lesson a score for how you've done overall, and at the end of the first lesson just a shot of at least one question that you've had a go at, and then marked, showing me how you've done that. Okay, great. I will carry on then. So there are 50 minutes should be available for the test, and then you've got sort of 10 minutes in terms of my marking time as well, I suppose. 46 marks altogether, so if you'd like to send me a score out of 46 at the end of the second go, that would be great. Now I'm going to show each question for a few seconds each time. In case you haven't got a printer that you can print the test off on, then you can copy down the question and have a go at it yourself. No need to copy down the actual question, just your working will be enough. Okay, so right, so the weight of a banana, a suitable metric unit would be grams. You could have, if you've just put G, that will do. And you could do it in kilograms or kg, although it wouldn't be as good, but kilograms you could do. I mean, a banana is probably going to be about 150 grams, which would be 0.15 kilograms, so that would be okay. The volume of water in a fish tank. Well, there's only one real answer in terms of metrics for that. That's litres. And you could have put the letter L for that. Pints is not acceptable because that's not metric, just as if you put stone or ounces or pounds, that wouldn't be okay for a banana. Those are imperial measures, not metric. The length of a lorry, meters, is definitely going to be the best one. You could do it in centimeters if you liked, or even millimeters, but I can't accept kilometers because they are too long. It would be far too short. Here's question 2, part A. So the perimeter of the shaded shape is the distance around the outside. So you've got 2 along there, 4 down there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going up there. Which is actually the same as 5 plus 2 times 2, so 2 times 7 is 14, and that is centimetres. You need the units, 1 mark for 14, 1 for centimetres. On the grid below, draw a square with the same area as the shaded shape. Well, how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 centimetres squared there. So we need a square that has 9. So you've got 1. You could increase that. 2 by 2 would give you 4. So what we're looking for is a 3 by 3 square that would be that size there. Question 3. So here the key thing is that 100 centimetres equals 1 metre. So to go from centimetres, you need 100 to make 1 metre. So you need to divide by 100, which gives you 5.3, because you move the decimal point 2 places. Question 4. So we know there's 1.5 litres of water in a bottle. There's 250 millilitres in another bottle. Work out the total amount of water in the two bottles. You can either do it in litres or millilitres. There's 1,000 millilitres to 1 litre. So if I wanted, I could turn that into millilitres by multiplying by 1,000, and then I could add the 250 on, and that would give me 1,750 millilitres. Or you could divide 250 by 1,000 to give you 0.25 litres, add that to 1.5, and that gives you 1.75 litres. Now if you've got 1,750 or 1.75 just as numbers, you get 2 marks for that. But to get the third mark, you have to have the units with it. Question 5. Give that one a go. So a cuboid has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces. The number of edges it has, well, edges are these bits here. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 around the top, 5, 6, 7, 8 round the side, and then 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 more round the bottom. Vertices is your mathematical term for a corner on a 3D shape. So you've got 1 there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that means corners. 1 mark for each of those. Part B, working out the volume of the cuboid. Well, volume of a cuboid is length times width times height. So it's 10 times 4 times 3, done in any order you like. 4 times 3 is 12, so 10 times 12 gives you 120 centimetres cubed. Here's question 6. At this point I'm going to say, if you used a calculator for all of it, that's not a problem. I think on the whole, most of these questions would come up in a non-calculator, but I didn't say at the beginning and it doesn't say on the test. So if you've used a calculator, that's okay. But if you've done it all without a calculator, then that's really, really good practice for you. How many faces has the pyramid got? It's got the square one on the bottom and then 4 triangles around the side. So 1 plus 4 making 5. How many edges? 1, 2, 3, 4 around the bottom and 5, 6, 7, 8. For the other 4 going up the side. Question 7, work out the area of the shape. So I would split this into 2. Some people like to make a big one and then take that area away. Either is fine as long as you show your method, but it is important to do that. So A is going to be 10 times 2, which is 20. And B is going to be, well, that's 8, that's 2. So I want this length from here to here. Well, if that's 2 and that's 8, 8 take 2 is 6. So B will be 6 times 2, which is 12. There are several ways you could have split that shape up to do it. However you did it, if you showed what you did and you got 32 centimetres squared, you get 2 marks. There's not a mark for the unit here because it's actually there on the dotted line at the bottom. Question 8. Pause the video and have a go. So to work out the total surface area of a 3D object, first thing to do is to sketch the net so that you can think about how many different sides you've got. I've got a sloping side here. I've got 3 rectangles and they could all fold out, couldn't they? So I'm going to just draw them down like that there, and I've got one bit that's 5 wide, then I've got another bit that is 13 along. Now I haven't sketched it to scale very much, but that doesn't matter. And I've got another bit that is 12 wide, and the whole thing is 20 centimeters. So those are the length, those widths add up to make the whole length of the big rectangle, and the width would be the 20 centimeters there. Now we've also got right angled triangles coming off each end. So if I draw them off the 5 bit, that goes at right angles to the 12, and then the 13 is there, but I don't really need the 13 very much, and I've got another one just drawing off here. So I've got the big rectangle I'm going to do first of all, length times width, so the length is going to be 12 plus 13 plus 5. 12 plus 13 is 25, 25 plus 5 is 30, so I can say that that whole length is 30. So the rectangle is 30 times 20, which is 600 centimeters squared. And then I'm going to have 2 triangles. Now one triangle, I've got 2 triangles, which means I'm going to do 2 times whatever the formula of the triangle is. Well, that's base times height divided by 2. So base times height. What do I mean by base times height? It's actually base times perpendicular height. Perpendicular meaning at right angles to. So I've got this length here is 5. That one there is 12. So those are the 2 that are at right angles, because if I did 5 times 12, that would give me the area of the rectangle that this is half of. But because I'm then going to double it, that kind of makes that irrelevant. So I'm just going to do 5 times 12 is 60. If you worked out 30 and then doubled it, that's fine, that's just as correct. And then what I need to do is add together those 2 areas, which gives me 660 centimeters squared as my final answer. We're just going to do 2 more questions on today's video, and then the last trickier, longer questions we will do tomorrow. Right, so this is a slightly longer question itself. Jim wants to cover his garden with grass seed to make a lawn. So there's enough grass seed to cover 20 meters squared of garden, so that's area. So we need to work out the area, and then we know how much each grass seed, each bag costs, and we can work it out from there. So to work out the area of a trapezium, it is half times a plus b, with them being the a plus b being the parallel sides of your trapezium, and then we times that by the perpendicular height. So that's going to be a half times 12 plus 13, and then times that by the height, which is 9. 12 plus 13 is 25, so we're talking half of 25, and times that by 9. Well, I'm actually going to do 25 times 9 first of all, because I know that's 225, and halve that. 2 into 22 goes 11, into 5 goes 2.5. 112.5 square meters. Now it may be that you don't like trying to remember the area of a trapezium, in which case there is another way, folks. You could split it into 2 shapes. You've got a right angled triangle there and a rectangle. So if I call them A and B, A is going to be length times width is 12 times 9 is what is it? That's 108, isn't it? And B is base times height over 2, isn't it? So the base is going to be 18 take 12 is 6. So B is going to be the 6 times the perpendicular height divided by 2. Well, that's 6 times 9 I could do, or I could make it even easier by doing the halving beforehand, because that's going to be the same as 3 times 9, which is 27. And if you do 108 plus 27, you get you get 15. 2 plus 1 is 3. You get 135, which is different to this. So I must have made a... Oh, hang on. I've written 13 there instead of 18, haven't I? So I should have done 12 plus 18, which makes 30. 30 divided by 2. 30 divided by 2 is 15. 15 times 9. 10 times 9 is 90, plus 45 is 135 square meters. So that's the same. So if you got 135 and thought that was wrong for a minute, sorry about that. Always check your work. That's one reason why it's good to use two methods, because if you get the same answer twice, you can be pretty sure you've got it right. Now, I know that next thing to do is how many bags do I need? Well, it'll be 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140. I'm going to need all of those bags. That's 1 bag, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 bags. I'm going to need to have, I will have enough grass seed for 5 square meters left over. If you've just left it, if you've done, and you may well have done this, which would be fine in terms of working it out, 135 divided by 20, and then said that's going to be the same as 13.5 divided by 2, and you've worked out that it's actually 6.75 bags that you need, and you put that as your final answer, you only get 3 marks, because you can't buy 6.75 bags. They are always on these questions. You cannot say, right, I'm going to make a special deal with the person selling the grass seed. You can't. You've got to buy whole numbers of bags. So it's 7 bags as your final answer. And I've just, always good to look back at the question, because I've just realised I've actually not finished the question, have I? Work out the least cost of putting grass seed on Jim's garden. We've got to buy 7 bags. We have to say how much those 7 bags cost. So £4.99 times 7. Well, the easiest way to do £4.99 times 7, I think, is to do £5 times 7, which is £35, minus 5 pence, which is going to be £34.95. Okay, it's not minus 5 pence, it's 7 times we're losing a penny, aren't we? So I said that was the easiest way, and then I just made a silly mistake, so it would be £34.93. So to get 4 marks, you've got to have £34.93. If you've got to this point here, I think you'd still get 3 marks. You'd need to get the 7 bags and then that multiplication right for the final mark. Okay, well, I'm actually going to leave it there. I said I was going to do 2 more, but I think we'll leave question 10 till next time. I hope you got on all right with that. So jot up your marks so far. Use a different pen, remember, every time you're going through questions, and I will see you all again on Thursday. Bye bye.